I'm just going to be real with y'all. I cannot keep making videos about everything Niantic does to make the community upset. I can't. So yeah, this video is eventually about the most recent changes to remote raid passes that Niantic made. But before we get to that, I just want to explain why I can't keep making these types of videos. And I wrote some things down so I can just get through it quickly and easily. So like I said, I can't keep making videos about every time Niantic does something that upsets the community. I feel like some folks have an expectation that YouTubers need to comment on everything, and that's just not reasonable. Me making a video, unfortunately, does absolutely nothing to actually improve the situation. We do get to share tons of feedback directly with Niantic, but I think that is something that people also overestimate the impact of. I know when you're tweeting, when you're on Twitter, when you're on social media and you're sharing criticism, it can feel like you're just shouting into the void and no one's listening. No one meaning Niantic. The only difference for us is that we have these channels where we can share feedback and we at least know that someone at Niantic is going to read it. That's it. We have no control over what happens from there. Whether or not it gets brought up in a meeting isn't up to us. Whether or not the suggestion or the feedback even gets taken seriously isn't up to us. Us as the YouTubers, us as anyone who's more closely involved with Niantic, we're not involved in the decision-making process. We just get to share feedback and we don't get to control what happens with it afterwards. And it's honestly exhausting that there's this expectation on us to be able to change things. Feeling like I had to comment on every negative thing that Niantic does is a huge reason why I struggled to make videos for so much of the last year. The constant negative energy was emotionally draining. I wasn't having fun making content, and I think that really showed in my videos. My videos suffered, my channel suffered, my views hit an all-time low, and I realized recently that I can't keep making videos for people who don't like the game. I want to make videos for people who enjoy Pokemon Go. And since I made that decision, I feel so much better mentally. I've been having so much more fun making videos. I've been consistent in making videos again. And I think, it seems like you as viewers can really sense that. I think you can all tell that I've just been having fun making videos again. And that honestly feels so good. I want to make videos that make people happy, full stop. So I can't keep making videos every time Niantic does something to upset the community, because honestly, it's going to continue to happen. And for my own mental health, I can't keep dedicating so much energy to it. Hope you can all understand that. I hope that makes sense. So with that said, let's just talk really briefly about the raid pass situation. In case you are blissfully unaware, Niantic recently announced that they're removing remote raid passes from the weekly one Pokécoin bundle, and then at the same time as they made that announcement, they also raised the price of the 3 remote raid pass bundle from 250 to 300 Pokécoins without announcing it, without telling anyone. And I fully understand why people are upset about that, especially after Niantic so many times recently has talked about wanting to communicate better and give more advance notice. They just didn't. They didn't tell us that they were going to increase the price on that bundle. But to be fair, they did say 2 years ago, in April 2020, when they initially released remote raid passes, they said that they would be available for the discounted price of 100 Pokecoins. Which means, I guess technically, they gave us 2 years advance notice that the price would be going up, but that also means that the price is going to go up even more. A single remote raid pass is 100 coins. Niantic said 2 years ago that that's a discount. That price is going to go up. That's just something to be aware of and to be prepared for. So from a money perspective, I can see why people are upset. The raid passes, the bundle got more expensive, no warning, and the remote raid pass, the free one, is being removed from the one Pokécoin bundle, but Niantic is replacing it with other items in that one Pokécoin bundle. And right now, in the shop, you can get 3 super incubators in the one Pokecoin bundle. And if we're just looking at the cost, a remote raid pass is 100 coins. 3 super incubators costs 600 coins. So if it's really just about the money, this is honestly a better deal. This is better. This is better than getting one remote raid pass. Now, I know for a lot of people it's not only about the money. For a lot of people it's about raids finally being accessible. Players who live in rural areas, who don't have gyms, players who don't have a community, a local community to raid with, players who can't leave the house for various reasons, whether it's taking care of someone, it's physical disabilities, it's illness, whatever the issue is. Remote raiding finally made raiding available to a lot of people who have never been able to raid before. And honestly, the good news is that through all of this, even as Niantic continues to nerf or disincentivize remote raids, through all of that, they're still going to be available. Remote raid passes aren't going to be fully removed from Pokemon Go. You will always be able to buy a remote raid pass. Now, how much that costs in the future, we're not going to know. Whether or not you're getting good rewards, bad rewards, less rewards, doing less damage, that's all kind of up in the air still. These are things that Niantic has talked about from the very beginning that would potentially or eventually happen with remote raids. Niantic obviously wants us to go outside. You know, we've talked about that so much. Niantic wants us to go outside. But for those of us who can't, for all the reasons and so many more that I listed earlier, for those of us who can't go outside, remote raid passes are going to stay in the game as an option. I think it's clear that Niantic doesn't want remote raid passes to be your first choice when choosing how to do a raid, but if you have no other choice, they're still going to be there. They're still there. So I know that during the pandemic, there was a huge shift, obviously, from everything being in person to everything being remote, right? That's why remote raids were introduced in the first place. And now there are these two very different communities within Pokemon Go. We have the in-person communities that Niantic is obviously trying to get back together, trying to really push. But we also have these online communities, which includes, you know, my Twitch streams. We did a lot of remote raids together. And for a lot of people, their first involvement with a community in Pokemon Go is online. And I mean, those two communities are going to continue to be supported. Obviously, they're very different. They require very different things. But remote raid passes aren't going anywhere. Niantic has made it clear, and I think Kelsey, during our interview, talked about how they want to continue to support those online communities. Now, I think one other common thing that I'm seeing throughout the comments on Twitter is that for a lot of people, the weekly one coin bundle was the only way that they would ever get a remote raid pass. It's the only way that they would ever get to do a raid. It's the only way that they would ever get to catch a legendary. And I think that obviously just like handing someone a free box is one way of getting them a remote raid pass without having to pay for it. But there are other ways that it can be done. Obviously, they're available in the shop. You can earn coins for holding gyms for a certain amount of time. But for a lot of people, again, who can't leave the house or who live in really rural areas where there just aren't gyms around for them to earn coins, I think that it's about time that Niantic introduces better ways to earn Pokecoins for free in Pokemon Go, whether it's through GBL or any other method. I mean, leave your suggestions down below, please, because I'd love to share that feedback. If players could earn coins without having to live in a place with gyms, then obviously it would be easier for people to then use those coins to buy remote raid passes. So I think the real issue with removing the remote raid passes from the one Pokecoin bundle is that it's not being replaced by some other accessible method of acquiring or earning a remote raid pass. And I think there are other ways that Niantic could allow players to earn a free remote raid pass, whether it's, you know, hitting the 50-kilometer walking goal for the week, or putting it into research breakthrough boxes, or having a chance of earning it from your 7-day Pokestop spin streak. Just having some way, either through like a direct method like that, or by making coins, earning coins more accessible, I think that would alleviate a lot of the stress that people are feeling because they are relying on that one Pokecoin bundle in order to get their remote raid pass and actually be able to do legendary raids in Pokemon Go. So if you have suggestions on ways that Niantic could make remote raid passes available, maybe with just, a little bit of gameplay effort, not just hand it to you for free in a box, but if there was some way that you could earn remote raid passes, I would love to hear your suggestions for that. And, I also just want to remind you that, like, if something's not fun, you don't have to do it. I know it's hard because obviously Pokemon Go has been such a big part of so many of our lives for years now, but it's okay to take a break. I've done it. All of us, the YouTubers, have done it. It's totally okay to just, like, relax, take a break, especially now with this Alola to Alola event coming up. Let's be honest, it's like not that exciting of an event. So if there was ever an event to skip, this is probably a pretty easy one. But yeah, I don't know. That's my thoughts. I really didn't want this video to go on too long, but more than anything, I think I wanted to explain why I can't, for my own mental health, can't keep focusing on these topics. I'm finally, like, having fun with the game again, having fun making videos, and I want that to continue. Like, I feel so excited to be making YouTube videos on Pokemon Go again, and it sucks that it's coming at a time when Niantic is making so many people upset. But for my own sake, I'm not gonna, like, focus on these types of subjects for videos. And again, I hope that you all can understand that. I appreciate you watching. I'm excited to make videos again. I'm actually, like, I'm gonna make multiple. Anyway, I'm excited to make videos again. Please enjoy that. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.